Disclaimer, I do not dislike CinemaSins, and that is not a lie. For my next Everything Wrong with CinemaSins video, I'm going to be seeing their video on Inside Out 2. Enjoy, everyone.
These emotion-colored fireworks are in perfect rainbow order, but follow the new tradition of indigo erasure. We already lost Pluto, damn it! I'm not letting you take indigo as well!
But this Disney logo isn't the first time a rainbow has been shown without indigo in media, and I'll give an example. And that is that the Magic School Bus episode Makes a Rainbow shows rainbows without indigo, and that episode aired 28 years before this film.
28! Anderson! Tripping!
This is some terrible officiating. Riley's not only focused on playing a puck, she actually makes contact with the puck before the other player falls down, which should negate any tripping penalty.
Well, from this shot, Riley moved her stick too close to the other player, which caused the trip, so I can understand her getting the penalty here.
Where's Family Island?
It's right there.
She doesn't know? How would any of these characters not know this? They have a tiny room to hang out in for eternity. Looking out the teeth windows at the islands of Riley's personality would be the only thing to do.
It could be possible that Sadness had been preoccupied with other things and didn't realize that Family Island was starting to get smaller over time.
Turns out when you put all of those beliefs together, they make the most wonderful thing of all.
A billion-dollar movie juggernaut to please your stockholders?
Her sense of self.
Oh, right.
Jeremy yells at the screen cliche.
I'm just gonna say it. If Kubert hasn't filed a lawsuit against the Foghorns for stealing his image rights, I'll eat my hat.
Jeremy points out things on the screen cliche.
Please, can somebody pinch me?
Finally, someone pinches like I do. See, entire 5th grade class of students that told me I was the one with emotional issues. Punching and pinching are one and the same. Disney said so.
Chitty chitty chat chat. Shit chat.
Sleep tight, honey.
Sleep? With dirty dishes on your bedside table? You want ants? Because this is how you become a dysfunctional adult that can't prioritize cleaning up after yourself, so you live a life of dirty dishes piling up everywhere, collecting mold and ants.
While I personally never did this when I was a teenager, from doing research, it is actually common for teens to leave dishes in their rooms. And also, like I pointed out in the collab video I did with Captain Vader on this movie, dysfunctional is misspelled here.
This is for all those memories that belong in the back of the mind.
Movie does a good job at adding to the inner world here, but wasn't not suppressing the point of the first movie as well? Sure, in the first movie, Joy was suppressing a fellow emotion, and now she's suppressing memories, but it's all suppression. I'm just saying the danger of only good thoughts was already the lesson of the first movie, and now I'm thinking Joy is the one with the bad memory.
True, but while Joy learned in the first film what Sadness's purpose was and to let the other emotions drive, she has a bit of a different arc here. And that is that she at first thinks Riley doesn't need bad memories to get through life before learning that they, like the good ones, make up who Riley is.
It was really nice of Riley's consciousness to create a magical elevator, but how in the did anyone figure out how to access it?
It could be possible that when the elevator was installed, a manual came with it, and that's how the emotions learned its combination.
Also, why do emotions need to sleep? Are they tuning out for the night? What does that say about dreaming? I feel things when I sleep, so who's in charge then?
I'd say that the emotions need to sleep because, like humans, they'd need to rest in order to fully function the next day.
I was a caterpillar, and just like that caterpillar. Easy.
Fear would definitely be at the back of this group and not second in line attempting to push this button again.
Considering that Fear's main purpose is to make sure Riley is safe.
So, big weekend for us. What do you want to do?
Movie refuses to zoom into Dad's head here, so we better understand the exact nature of his weekend plans for science.
And is that the case because this is an animated family movie?
This is the hockey camp version of the everyone hangs out outside the school in the morning instead of just going the f*** in cliche.
But that is something that happens in real life, so it's not unrealistic.
Why do Disney characters always have to bump into the person they're meant to meet? I have yet to walk into a person in real life and have it turn into a meaningful fork-in-the-road moment. I even ask about it when I smack into them. Are we best friends now? Do you hold the secrets to my future? Are you the love of my unfulfilled life? Everyone runs away.
Firstly, Riley bumps into Val here as a convenience for the story to happen. Secondly, since Val ends up just being a friend of Riley's, this doesn't count as a case of a character meeting someone they later fall in love with.
Where can I put my stuff?
Cartoon character suddenly has things that were entirely and absolutely not there seconds before cliche.
Questioning hammer space in an animated movie cliche. Yup, I'm repeating that sin from my Moana 2 video here.
Look at your hair.
Attempting to touch a green woman's hair without consent.
Considering that Envy tends to want to touch things she likes, and she also likes Val's hair and attempts to make Riley touch it.
We need hair like that.
Somehow this button works for Envy, but pressing all the previous ones did nothing.
And that could be because she wasn't entirely pressing the buttons before.
Okay, who's this guy?
And why does pressing the buttons work for him? Sorry, I guess my previous sin didn't really allow me to move on just yet. I'm still pretty annoyed. I'll get better.
Probably because embarrassment is pushing the buttons hard enough for them to work, like Envy did with that button she pressed hard enough.
But I've learned that every emotion is good for Riley.
Are they though? I think every emotion may be a natural part of being human, but that doesn't mean they're all healthy. right? They are often inevitable, so learning how to process them is a must, but declaring all emotions good might be a neural bridge too far.
But it is true that all the emotions are good for Riley and have a purpose. Joy makes Riley happy, sadness lets others know when she needs help, disgust keeps her from being poisoned, anger keeps things fair, fear protects her from the scary stuff she can see, anxiety protects her from the scary stuff she can't see, just like she says in the film. Ennui can steer Riley away from uninteresting things, envy can help her be self-aware, and embarrassment can navigate awkward situations.
You're gonna love this.
I was using that as a cup holder.
I was gonna send the old my grandma thought the CD-ROM drive was a cup holder gag, but then I realized no.
Chit chat. In this chitty chat 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 chat. In this chat.
That was like 30 seconds ago, nostalgia.
How do the new emotions know all the emotion people's names? Seems like Joy and crew are surprised by their arrival, but everyone else has been in the know the whole time.
When we first meet Anxiety, she tells Joy that she's a huge fan of her and her work. And I think that implies that the new emotions knew about what the old emotions did before it was their time to join them in headquarters.
You're here to work, not goof around. Got that, Anderson?
Love how the movie focuses the uncomfortableness on Riley and forgets that there were 2 other people participating in the 5 seconds of goofiness.
True, but since Riley had the phone, it makes sense for Coach Roberts to think that she started the goofing off with her friends, and she did. Also, like I pointed out in the collab video Captain Vader and I did, you misspelled uncomfortableness here.
Also, all these players give Riley the stink eye as if this phone basket wasn't already something the coach was planning on doing. It's like the movie feels it needs us to feel Riley feeling self-conscious feelings.
That is possible, but when Coach Roberts told the girls to settle down, she said, which means now I'm going to need your cell phones, which I think implies that if Riley wasn't goofing off with her friends, then Coach Roberts likely wouldn't have confiscated all the cell phones.
What's us?
But we promised Gray and Gray.
Well, good thing the coach is letting you pick your own teams then, and you can bring them over with you and just balance it out. No? Going with an avoidable plot crisis so we can move things along instead? Fine.
But Anxiety wouldn't have agreed to that since she thinks that Riley should just team up with Val so that she can make new friends, and she and the other new emotions currently don't think that Bree and Grace are cool enough for Riley to hang out with.
I don't know how Anxiety knew about Joy's secret tube launcher, but her understanding of basically everything sure does come in handy when it's time to do the coup.
But considering that the old emotions know about what the old emotions do, Anxiety likely learned about when Joy created the tube launcher.
Also, what does it matter that the glowy part of Riley is launched to way in the back of the mind anyway? Won't it grow back? If Riley has the power of sacred personal choice, she should be able to reach inward and rediscover herself and pop out another pretty swirly thing. Just don't push too hard.
But from what the movie shows, that isn't how it works. How it works is that new memories need to be put in the belief system to make a new sense of self, as shown when Anxiety puts her memories in.
Over my dead flaming body.
Emotions can die in this franchise. That's terrifying. But also that means you can kill Anxiety and skip the rest of the movie, so do that.
Firstly, Anger just said that due to the fact that his headlight's on fire. Secondly, you gave another implication that you don't like watching movies, so like I've done before, I'll be giving my award to this sin.
I am truly sorry. I was so looking forward to working with you guys.
Embarrassment's grabbing of these 5 without any instructions from Anxiety, combined with her knowledge of how the memory launcher thing works, suggests a level of premeditation to this exile that the movie never really reckons with textually or metaphorically.
It's almost like that is the case since she's Anxiety and plans for the future like she previously said.
You can't just bottle us up.
Oh, that's a great idea.
This emotion-sized canning jar that just so happens to be here for visual punning purposes.
Yeah. So?
We are suppressed emotions!
You are also able to summon a flashlight at will, so that's neat, I guess.
He probably just pulled it out of Hammer Space.
But he's a video game character. Why is he here?
Because Riley's subconscious apparently anthropomorphizes some memories into actual characters in her mind and just creates glowy balls for other memories because of reason sadness.
And I think that could be because Riley has had a personal connection with all these characters, so they physically exist inside of her mind.
You want us to go all the way to the back of the mind? Are you out of your mind?
Does she have a mind?
Yeah.
Oh, follow the stream of consciousness, and then we take a nice, easy float all the way to the back of the mind.
This handmade cardboard paper plan exposition is cute and all, but when in this conversation did Joy have time to put it together? You gotta get to the back of the mind right away. There's no time to pull a South Park right now.
That's not what's happening. This is just the movie showing us Joy formulating her plan through her imagination. Also sending something you like.
Okay, fine, no punting.
The Detroit Lions.
Jeremy says something random cliche.
Someone has to be at the console to recall us.
Anxiety would have thought about that.
Right, but so did sadness. So why are we talking about anxiety except to create more anxiety for Joy and for us?
Probably because anxiety plans for the future and sees potential flaws in plans, and Joy hadn't thought about that one particular flaw in her plan.
Ooh, walkie-talkies. Here. Check, check, check.
Convenient pair of powered-up walkie-talkies, even though they are also accidentally left on and are sitting at the very spot these two need them for who knows how long, are convenient.
And that could be because those that had them are on break, since the voice on one of them said, "Where is everybody? You on break again?"
There it is.
The Pixar Luxo lamp? Yeah, if Pixar does an Easter egg at least once every 5 minutes, a zombie Lightning McQueen rises from the dead and terrifies the world by threatening a Cars 4.
The I in if is uppercase instead of lowercase here.
Quick, recall everything we know about music.
Wait, why is the first music memory that gets recalled colored orange? Anxiety just showed up a few days ago, and in the first movie, memories had to be influenced by the emotion in the moment. And as if to agree with me, the movie changes its mind once we get to the headquarters, and not a single memory globe is anything other than the original 5 color emotions.
But like I said in the collab video with Vader, it's not orange because when you look at the memory, it's yellow, which aligns with Joy.
Wow, those guys are jerks.
John Ratzenberger shows up for a line or two in a Pixar movie cliche.
But there have been Pixar films where John Ratzenberger has made lines, so it's not really a cliche for him to have 1 or 2 lines in one of their films.
Riley, what are you talking about?
Remember when the movie wanted us to believe this was an exclusive party?
But it was just anxiety and envy that thought the invite was exclusive, so I don't think Val and the other girls mind Bree and Grace being there. Also, I know this has already been pointed out, but I do also have to send you for that pronunciation of exclusive, since I shouldn't ignore that.
Is that broccoli?
Yes, it is, because apparently the stream of consciousness is now just emptying into the self-identity pool because Riley was sarcastic a few times.
Firstly, yelling at the screen, and secondly, like Captain Vader pointed out, that mispronunciation of stream.
Do you know how hard it is to stay positive all the time when all you folks do is complain, complain, complain? Jiminy mother loving toaster strudel.
Wait, is Joy angry? Does this mean Joy has a control panel in her brain with a little Joy anger in there? I swear I'll get back all the sins if the next movie in the franchise is Inside Out 3, Christopher Nolan's Insideception.
Maybe she has little emotions in her head too, but the emotions feeling different emotions than what they embody isn't a new idea from this film. For example, while sadness embodies, well, sadness, she was shown to be happy at the end of the first film after Joy stopped mistreating her.
Riley doesn't need us as much as she needs them.
How can Joy believe this when she and her crew were taken by force?
Because when Joy was in control, it led to Riley getting in trouble and making the Firehawks skate lines, leading to them badmouthing her. And because Anxiety was able to get Riley to talk things over with Val and get her on her side, she thought that Riley no longer needed the old emotions.
Come on.
Hero's mental breakdown immediately reverses everyone's hatred of them cliche.
But it's not that anger, fear, and disgust were hating on Joy. They thought she wasn't understanding their situation due to her trying to stay positive. And her snapping at them revealed that she's just as frustrated with their situation as they are, and they realized they should stop being hard on her.
Paul Walter Hauser apparently attended the Alan Tudyk School, getting paid to make funny noises in a Disney movie. Getting accepted into the program is hella tough, but once you're in, the classwork is cake.
But Alan Tudyk doing that in Disney movies isn't exactly a first for the studio, because prior to him, Frank Welker did that a lot with Disney characters that he voiced, such as Abu, Cricky, and Pegasus.
Imagination Land! Oh, you guys are gonna love it. There's French Fry Forest and Cloud Town and...
How dare you! Cloud Town is just a rebranding of Cloud City from Star Wars. And that's not imagination. That's just repurposing IP and pretending you came up with it. Oh, Disney, right.
Oh, really?
Because I'm me, I've already noticed 2 8 of clubs and 3 Riley of diamonds cards in this setup. And while I know this is Imagination Land where anything is possible, I still don't think it's nice to imply that Riley isn't playing with a full deck.
And I don't think it's nice to imply that you're questioning something in Imagination Land, and you just admitted to knowing that's the case here.
Oh, look, Figment! I rode that ride at Disney when I was a kid. I had a film camera on the ride, and when the
How about you spare me the chit-chat?
And the door to this fancy hockey complex is unlocked, because of course it is.
Well, a security guard is shown to be in the building when Riley breaks in, so he or she could have likely left the door unlocked when entering. Also, capitalizing the H in hockey in the middle of your sentence here.
We can't let these bad ideas get to Riley!
Forgetting that there are no bad ideas in a brainstorm.
You serious?
Just before this part, the movie already established that the ideas in this brainstorm aren't good ones with these 2 ideas that Joy looks at.
Hug the pugs? Trash talk the other team?
Fear? You have a parachute?
Yes. The real question is, why don't any of you?
No, the real question is, why did you not tell them you had a parachute 10 minutes ago when the brainstorm started?
Because when they first entered the brainstorm, he didn't know right away that the only way out was up, and he realized it at this part here.
I have decided to no longer look at the screen when ennui is present because my cervical spine immediately displaces.
But this wouldn't be the first time an animated character is shown having an abnormal neck. And an example of that prior to this film is that Bart was shown having a long neck in the 12th Treehouse of Horror episode of The Simpsons.
Gravity, pretending like it takes effect progressively across a geographical distance. What do you think this is, a cartoon? This is Pixar, damn it.
It's almost like this is technically a cartoon since Pixar is an animation studio or something.
Maybe this is what happens when you grow up. You feel less joy.
Adults.
It's almost like that's the point of that line or something.
We're gonna blow up this cliff.
Yep.
And then we'll ride an avalanche of bad memories back to headquarters.
Oh, well, that makes complete sense. But quick question. You basically journeyed through Bree, down the East Road, past the Trollshaws, over the Misty Mountains, through the Brown Lands, and into the Dead Marshes. And you're saying a single explosion is going to result in a chain reaction that will take you all the way back to Hobbiton? Is the explosion made out of eagles?
A whole bunch of arbitrary Lord of the Rings references. And since 8 of them were made here, I'll give out 8 sins in response.
Anderson! Penalty box! 2 minutes!
Oh, come on. Is this hockey or not? Sure, she's being selfish, but she was playing the puck toward the goal when Grace came out of nowhere and blind checks her in the middle of her shooting form. How is this a penalty on Riley?
I'd assume it's a penalty on Riley because she's still standing and tries to score after Grace falls, which would make it look like she purposefully hurt her. And considering that Riley's been playing selfishly the whole game and isn't working with her team, it's understandable for her to get a penalty.
And now we know that these creatures must also hold their breath underwater, so they have a respiratory system as well.
But that shouldn't be surprising since these motions have been shown to be able to do things just like humans in these movies.
Let's take this moment to remind everyone that Orbeez are terrible tiny fuckers that ruin things and should be banned.
Okay, but because that has nothing to do with this movie, I'll be giving out my award here.
28! Anderson! Tripping!
This official was not this close to her when he said this, and his hand movements were completely different. And yes, I know memories don't hire a continuity team, but they should.
But since it's common to not remember something exactly from how it happened, that's probably why memories don't hire a continuity team.
Also, real dick move there, Riley. You didn't even ask how Grace was feeling after you flung her across the ice.
Agreed. As touching as this scene is, that would have made it better.
Joy, Riley wants you.
Want or need? Let's say the character we focused on was fear, which is indeed a part of our survival instinct. Do we somehow stop and think, I want to be afraid now, so I'm going to draw on this part of my emotional pool for guidance? No!
But like I said in the collab video with Vader, this isn't about fear, and it is that Riley wants Joy to be in control at this moment since after reconciling with her friends, she wants to feel happy again.
But every bit of Riley makes her who she is. And we love all of our girl. Every messy, beautiful piece of her.
F***ing emotions. Wait, I think I just had an idea for the next one.
And here's the end result, everybody. This in total is 93, and the sentence will be being bottled up. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.